Poco M2 Pro. So there are a lot of mixed views about this phone. Yes, it's the same Redmi Note 9 Pro and a lot has already been said about it. But this one comes with a 33-watt charger, which the Redmi Note 9 Pro lacks. Bigger and faster charger, who doesn't want? I guess the only reason it's getting a lot of flack is because of rebranding the Redmi phone. The Poco brand used to be all about speed, performance and innovation. The Poco F1 is still a relevant phone, even after 2 years. That's how much we loved it. The Poco M2 Pro is a good phone, but still it missed the mark. The base variant is retailing at just $13,999. It's extremely well priced, clearly not missing the mark. And many people really want that phone because we saw that it went out of stock on its first sale in just a few seconds. So clearly there's a lot of demand. So let me share my experience with the Poco M2 Pro from a user's point of view, what's good and what should have been better, and probably that will help you decide if this one fits your requirement or not. So without wasting any time, this is your friend Singh. Let's get started. So I've been using the Poco M2 Pro since its launch date in India, which was I think 6th or 7th of July. From that moment you hold it, you know it's a very familiar design. It reminds you of that Poco X2 instantly. Using this from the past 15 days and I too have mixed feelings. Let's start with what I didn't like. Again, it's very subjective. Something that I didn't like might be something that others prefer. Starting with the display, now this has a 6.67 inch IPS LCD display with a resolution of 2400 by 1080 pixels. Huge large display. The color reproduction is also quite good, it's more natural, and let's not forget LCD panels get really bright and are excellent outdoors. But अब outdoors जाता कहाँ है, हम सब indoors ही फंस गए हैं. But anyway, I would have loved to see an AMOLED display on this phone. Come on guys, you call it a Pro and there's no AMOLED display? Even the Samsung M31 जो 15,000 का है has a gorgeous AMOLED display. I'm sure that would have been something that everyone would have loved to see. But considering that the Poco X2 also didn't have it, it would be a long shot to expect an AMOLED display on a 14,000 phone. With LCD display, dark mode doesn't help improve battery life as all the pixels are still lit. No always on display mode possible. I'm really hoping to see the next Poco phone with an AMOLED panel. It's high time we get an AMOLED panel on budget phones too. Even if it escalates the price a little, I'm sure most of us will be okay if that price goes up a little. At least an AMOLED display will be an amazing display on even budget phones. And why not? If Samsung can do it, surely Poco can. Moving to the performance, not the best, pretty average, Snapdragon 720G, but overall very snappy thanks to the very well optimized MIUI 11. It would be too much to ask for considering that even Samsung is pushing so many of their slow processors at higher prices. Also the base variant is just having 4GB RAM. But then maybe Poco wanted to keep the price under 15K, hence the lower RAM. But fortunately they also have a 6GB RAM variant, so you can even get that, which they had 8GB. Also the camera ain't its strongest point, especially the low light mode. Stay away from night shots, it's not that great. Though it comes with a dedicated night mode, but the results are pretty below average actually. Also the previous Poco X2 came with 120Hz refresh rate, so I expected at least 90Hz with the Poco M2 Pro, which I think would have been a really great selling point for the M2 Pro. But I guess they wanted to save battery, they didn't include it, but it would have been really nice to have a faster refresh rate and given an option to toggle it to turn it on and off like they allowed it in the X2. Would have been great. I think that fast refresh rate should have been an option in the Poco, especially after the X2. Anyway, moving to the good side. Firstly, 5000 mAh battery that can easily last me 2 days with medium use. Never could I kill the battery in 1 day, it was that good. But let's not forget, I'm not a gamer, I don't play a lot of games, but I use it for all my daily stuff like social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, emails were all handled on the M2 Pro and the device lasted great on full day. It also comes with a 33-watt fast charger. It's a blessing. Thank you Poco for including that big brick in the box. Really appreciate it. A quick 20-minute charge can take the battery from 10 to 60%. Can you imagine? 20 minutes can easily make the Poco M2 Pro last for a full day. Wow, ain't that great? Though to fully charge the phone it takes around an hour and a half, which is maybe too much, but it's okay. Right on the top inside the ear speaker is a small notification light. I actually didn't even realize it when I made the unboxing and overview video. But still, it's a great light. It also lights up when you charge the phone, and if you want to turn it off, you can turn it off. One of my other favorite hardware of the Poco M2 Pro is the haptic motor. Unlike the vibrating motor, this is more controlled and very precise. When you type, you get this haptic feedback. It's really amazing. Also, it's not noisy like a vibrating motor. That sound will not come. It's going to be pretty silent, and that's a really good thing. Also, it has haptic alert types, so it's a different alert when you're unlocking the phone. It's a different haptic feedback when you're taking a screenshot. So your brain actually learns when you keep pressing that what actually are you doing. So it's kind of a nice thing. It's very hard to tell you. It's only something you'll experience it when you use it. So the M2 Pro has a fingerprint scanner on the power button, which is so much more faster than any in-display scanner. And above all, the best part is its placement. It's on the power button on the side. So if you're holding the phone in your right hand, you can set it as your thumb. If you're holding the phone in your left hand, you can set it as the index finger. Also, you can set it to touch the power button to unlock the phone or press the power button to unlock the phone. Taken straight from the Poco X2. I've always preferred a capacitive fingerprint scanner as they are blazing fast compared to any other. It also comes with a face unlock, but probably not the most secure, so I won't recommend it. The rear camera shooter is a 48 megapixel, but by default it takes pictures only at 12 megapixel, which makes sense because you can save space. However, let me tell you that the Poco M2 Pro also comes with a dual SIM card slot and a dedicated micro SD card slot. Wow! Dedicated card slot is such a must. Though many phones simply choose to keep the hybrid slot, the M2 Pro has a dedicated slot. So M2 Pro also supports 512 gigabytes of external memory, so I don't think you'll have to worry about falling short of space anymore at all. Coming to the camera, it does a pretty good job during the day, in fact above average, bright, crisp and impressive dynamic range. The skies simply look gorgeous, you have to see it. Especially with the 8 megapixel wide lens. I realized I've started taking a lot more pictures on the wide lens. The results were really impressive. The macro gets cool close-ups too, super fun to post on Instagram. The depth sensor gets those bokeh shots, pretty clean, no problem. Basically all the lenses that you want are there, but the same camera struggles with low light. They're just below average. You can also record 4K videos at 30 FPS. Check out the dynamic range and the color of the sky. Can't ask for more, can you? Now I know that this price it would be really hard to expect something more, so I can't be complaining. The front camera is a 16 megapixel, clear, crisp images during the day. Low light images were also better than most budget phones. Here's a pic of my back towards the sun where still my face is very well lit. What more do you want? So to summarize, the camera on the M2 Pros won't disappoint, maybe even impress you with some wide angle shots and selfies. I know, finally you want to know about the gaming. So the Adreno 618 GPU is no beast, but it's no slouch either. Played PUBG and Asphalt 9. PUBG played quite smoothly. With the ultra settings it played very well, but sometimes it would throttle, so I put it back to smooth. And after that it played without any problem, and the battery life also was pretty actually good. Asphalt 9 also played without any problem, no drop frames or lag at all. The Poco M2 Pro is quite good when it came to casual gaming. Now about something I love about the Poco M2 Pro, the glass back. It's amazing. No crazy zigzag lines or design, just dual tone glass back. Looks so classy. The front and back are protected with Gorilla Glass 5, which should protect it from scratches and damages. You have to see it. By the way, I'm using this without a cover. I like the back so much. So finally, here are my thoughts. The M2 Pro is definitely not perfect. It has its share of pros and cons. The biggest con being rebranding a Redmi design and nothing really new. The biggest pro being all the features, hardware and specs you're looking for in a smartphone at an incredibly low price. If your budget is 15,000 and you can do without an AMOLED display, then this one is easily recommended. Also, this is available in 6GB RAM and 128GB variant, which I would highly recommend to buy. It's priced at just 16,999. It's an excellent phone for the price, value for your money. If AMOLED display is your priority, then Samsung would be your thing. But you'll have to trade off performance for the AMOLED display. Make your pick, better performance or a little better display. You'll get your answer. I'll leave the links of the Poco M2 Pro as well as some other options that you can consider in the description. If you like to buy one, you should definitely check it out. I've also made the Poco M2 Pro unboxing and overview and the Poco M2 Pro speed test with the Poco X2. I'll leave the links for both these videos in the description as well. I highly recommend you watch them. So I hope this video is helpful. Write down in the comments and let me know if there are any questions about the Poco M2 Pro. I'll be happy to answer them. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Until next time, cheers.